All right, in this video, I wanted to talk about being a workaholic, how to become a workaholic, and some other things around it. Now, when it comes down to me, I've been working multiple jobs for the last, pretty much since I was a teenager. I've always had at least multiple jobs or 2 jobs every year. And when it comes down to like my definition of a workaholic, it usually includes someone that is working more than the average person every week. The average person, I think, works anywhere from probably 30 to 40 hours a week on one thing, usually at a job, and then they spend the rest of the time just doing whatever. A workaholic is usually spending somewhere from 60 to whatever hours more to spend it on either multiple ways of making money or spending it on their one main way of making money. But either way, when it comes down to being a workaholic, the main thing that I've learned is that it is about making sacrifices. You are sacrificing something in order to be a workaholic. Most of the times you are sacrificing the quality of something, whether it be the quality of your relationships, the quality of your health, or the quality of your mind. I guess that goes with health, but when I say health, I mean your physical body, and then mind is, of course, your mentality. One of these, or if not all of them, are going to take a hit from you being a workaholic. There's just no way of getting around it. Now, what I've learned the most about being a workaholic is that you can manage and make it work for you if you know how to do it correctly. Now, for me, what that means is that I had to learn how to become really good with my sleep. So one of the things is I've learned about sleep cycles. Sleep cycles are different for each person depending on your age group that you're in. And what it is you are having intervals of sleep as you are sleeping. Your mind goes into whatever state it is where you're in, like a deep subconsciousness or whatever it's called, and you are you're in sleep. When you get to the end of these intervals, your mind is like partially waking up or deciding to reset and go into another sleep interval. And so what I've learned is that if you actually know how to time your sleep intervals correctly and you wake up at the right interval, like right at the end of it, you actually wake up with no fatigue, or if not like that, oh, it's going to take me 20 to 30 minutes to get out of bed. Like, no, you actually can wake up a lot more quicker if you know how to wake up at the end of a cycle or right at the beginning of one, because once you get deep into one and then you wake up in the middle of it, that's probably why you have a hard time like waking up, is because you're waking up in the middle of this sleep cycle and your mind wants to finish that sleep cycle. That's why it's hard to drag yourself out of bed. Now, when I get out of bed, I usually drink a lot of water right away. That's another thing I've learned. It just helps get your mind going right away. I also take supplements. Supplements are good with regulating either your sleep itself. So for me, sometimes I take CBD at night in pill form. And then during the day, I take a few multivitamins. I'll let you do the research on your own and find your own multivitamins. But I used to take like B12 and a couple other ones, but I stopped taking a few of those. And now I take some other ones. I go on Swanson Health and I find, vitamins that work for me there. Like I said, go do the research on your own. The other thing that I learned that goes well is having a really good diet plan or pre-prep meals. Knowing what you're going to eat that day is probably the best way of actually maintaining that you're putting the right foods in your body so that you're not becoming bloated or too tired, and then you actually have the right proportions so that you're not starving yourself or looking for more food as you're working. So there's a balance with that. Like I said before, you can take a hit on your relationships, but if you do take the time to schedule the time that you need to spend with certain people, that's probably the best way of overcoming like that dip in quality when you become a workaholic. The other thing that I've learned is that it could be great for the time being, but overall, like the long run, it is kind of crappy. And I'll let you kind of do your own thinking as to why that's crappy. The reason I have, though, is because of the fact that I didn't get to build into the relationships that I wanted to because, well, I'm working. And I'm sure you probably have the same reason as well, too. But like I said, I'll let you create your own reason as to why being a workaholic is, a downer for you or just, bad for you. Now, what I wanted to discuss next is the importance of like what goes into like the right kind of workaholic if you want to do this for a longer period of time. I've mentioned before food, supplements, and sleep patterns, but when it comes down to rest, you actually do need to figure out when it is that your body can rest fully. I usually say work 6 days out of the week and pick the 7th day to actually like fully rest where you're not working. This will ensure that your body gets the right amount of like recovery needed in order to keep going. And then along with that is just making sure that you're doing things to actually take care of yourself. For me, it includes soaking my feet. It includes going to the hot tub place that I go to, enjoying the sauna as well too. Like, it really means taking care of yourself and rejuvenating yourself for the next 6 days of work. If you do not do that, you will end up crashing a lot. You will end up not knowing like where your head's at because you're going to be in a mental bubble, and then you're not going to know how to have the best relationships that you can. So you do need to have rest so that you can take the time to schedule those things that I just mentioned for either the next week. Schedule when your actual work is, schedule when you can spend time with people, schedule when you can spend time on yourself, and then on the rest of that 7th day, you actually relax and take care of yourself, and then you do whatever it is that you need to do, prepare for the next, 6 days. For me, that include, making my meals, and then having all of my supplements also like measured out for the week, and then also having like a calendar filled out or like a journal scheduled out of everything that I needed to accomplish that week, and then who I wanted to communicate with. Now, the last thing I wanted to go over is the right way of becoming a workaholic, which is get up, stop procrastinating, do what it is that you need to do, figure out how to become better at it every day, figure out why you're even doing it, and then become infatuated with it. Do it so much that it becomes second nature. Find your reason for doing it. If it's only temporary, know the plan on when to get out. Know how long you want to do this for. What's the goal you need to hit? If you're going to do this for a long time, why are you doing it? What kind of lifestyle is it going to provide for you if you do this for a long time? Who's going to enjoy it with you? You need to think of these things when you're wanting to become a workaholic. But I don't really have anything else other than good luck. And if you do decide to become a workaholic, like I said, it's basically a sacrifice in one part of your life, but it doesn't have to be if you know how to actually schedule things out, write it down, and implement it on a weekly basis. So, good luck. Bye.